Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of our Salty Snack Gamecast. I am Tom Wanless.
Patrick.
And John.
All right, well, we have a kind of a short one for you guys today.
And Tom.
Didn't I say my name?
Yeah.
God damn it.
I'm Tom Wanless too.
Just fucking with you.
I want to be Tom.
All right.
All right, well, we got kind of a short one for you guys today. There wasn't really a lot of stuff that came out in the past week of really noteworthy news.
Well, there's a lot of shit. It's just a lot of shit that we don't want to talk about.
Yeah, we kind of just want to talk about stuff that really is relevant to us, just so we're motivated to actually do this.
Yeah.
But I guess we could start right out by going right into Pokemon Go. What are our thoughts for the last week here? I don't know. What do you guys have anything to say about that?
Still don't play it.
Still don't play. Are you just not going to jump on the bandwagon?
No.
Not worth it.
Probably not.
In your eyes?
It's fair enough. I mean,
I just don't. I have other ways of spending my time.
I suppose that makes sense.
If I want to get outside, I would actually. I do go on walks, but
If I wanted to be active, I would be active.
I do go on walks, but I don't think I'd like it as much catching Pokemon.
here's what I don't like so far. One, we went to two major cities. Chippewa. I was in Chippewa all week last week, and Eau Claire yesterday. No Pokestops within major areas unless you're on campuses.
Or like downtown, I think.
Oh yeah, or downtown, which is super disappointing. And I feel that's the same way here. Unless you're down campus, there are no Pokestops around.
Either that or they're really spread out, yeah.
So pretty much people are just going to hit the same little part in your area. And if you have a small town, that means you're getting like 4 stops, while people in San Francisco are literally littered with stops everywhere.
I think there was an article about somebody suggesting that they add in where you can like suggest a Pokestop in your town or something like that. Because a lot of people are complaining because they all live out in the country.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are like, I have one Pokestop, if any,
Yeah,
in my
what are
town,
you supposed
and
to
I
do?
can't do anything. Everybody else is sitting here with thousands and thousands of CP Pokemon, and I'm sitting here with a 200 or something like that.
And imagine if you're the one unfortunate person that has a Pokestop on like your property, and then everybody just like flocks to you.
I mean, that's like a kind of a bad thing about it, but you're also like ruling out all those people in small towns who don't have stops, who can't get the most enjoyment out of it. And those are the people who are going to have to fucking, fork out the money to pay for Pokeballs because they can only hit that one stop every couple minutes.
Mm-hmm. There was actually somebody that their house is an old church.
Yeah.
So their house is a gym. So he has kids all over the place that just keep coming up to his yard like, oh, I need to take over this gym. Then they got the picture and went across the street to like a park where they could still access the gym. But that was kind of a funny article to read. Because you never really think about that happening until somebody actually posts on it.
Especially if it's just like some old dude is like, what's a Pokemon?
What did you see? Like posted he posted a picture at like 3 a.m. He's like, 3 a.m. They're still out there.
At least he has good guards for his house, I suppose. Nobody's ever going to break into his house.
He's standing like behind his like shade, looking out the window with his shotgun ready.
They take one step on my yard, I swear to God.
Have people been shot for trespassing?
Someone's been shot in Pokemon Go.
Really?
Actually, I also read that all those were publicity stunts.
Are they?
I don't obviously
Just trying to
know.
get like clickbait?
Pretty much.
Gotcha.
Like all those are just fake. The car crashes, the like shootings, a lot of the muggings. I'm sure there's a couple muggings.
Well, the
that
muggings
actually
was
happened,
real. I know
but
the muggings were real.
I'm sure a lot of those are probably just publicity, though.
Just news trying to get...
How about falling off a cliff?
Falling off a cliff?
Yeah, was that legit? The 2 teens who fell off the cliff in California?
I have no idea.
What are the odds?
I know the
I bet you
that found a dead body was real.
Yeah, I know that one was real, but I bet you the ones that fell off the cliff, I bet you they're like, oh, they were probably just playing Pokemon Go. We'll just say it was
They
that.
fell off like a curb. They called it a cliff.
Well, I found out that
Tripped on a curb.
as soon as you play Pokemon Go, because you agree to their terms of service, you agree that you're not going to sue them for any injuries that you might get while playing.
Yeah, it's their fault.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you
For
just
sure.
can't be an idiot when you're doing that. It's basically the same thing with everything else. If you buy a bike and you get hurt on the bike, you can't sue the bike company. It's your own fault.
yeah, but there'll be people who try.
There's always people that try. There's people that tried suing McDonald's for getting them fat. It's like no.
Yeah, I get it. Well, so I found out that Nintendo's not running the show with Pokemon Go, which I found was really interesting because their stock is like tripling right now. They just overtook Sony. They didn't even make the game.
Yeah,
They
just
didn't even
licensed it out.
publish the game or even give anything to it. The Pokemon company did it. And they're just reaping the benefits.
So what do? They just license the Pokemon name out to a...
No, they don't own the Pokemon name. They only own percentage in it. They
When
own
do they
like
sell that? Or
they
do
never owned it. The Pokemon company owns it. So there's the Pokemon company, and they own like the anime, the merchandising, the show. They own all that stuff, and then Nintendo owns like 15-20% of that. So they are allowed to make games and publish for it. But the Pokemon company are the ones who went out and said, "Hey, we want to make this game," and they gave it to that developer.
Niantic.
Yeah, because I'm guessing that if it was Nintendo who did it, they probably would have done it internally. So I just find that's hilarious that people are just like, "Oh man, this is Nintendo's best move ever." It wasn't Nintendo's move.
Yeah.
What do you think would have led them if Nintendo has been making Pokemon games for them for so long to go to somebody else to make a game like this?
Because Nintendo hasn't done anything mobile-wise yet.
Okay.
And the Niantic's already made a game that was just like this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ingress.
so they just said like put a Pokemon skin over it?
That's pretty much what they did.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's probably why they outsourced to Niantic, because they saw that they had Ingress already, and they kind of thought, well, this is basically our idea for the game. All you have to do is make a few tweaks to it, and then it's the Pokemon Go.
Nintendo's trying to move into mobile right now, but their first thing was that Miyamoto game, like the Wii, or you know what I'm talking about? They released it. Everyone thought it was cool, and then they found out there was a shit ton of microtransactions to do anything, and everyone just dropped it the next day. I think it's like
Sounds like all games right now.
Miyamoto.
Microtransactions or DLC.
I think it's called like Miyamoto or some shit like that. Where it was like a Mii character.
Oh, okay. I mean, I have no idea.
And
Well,
yeah,
I suppose before we go anywhere further, if you guys like our show, make sure you leave a like and hopefully subscribe to our channel. We have what?
I'm making faces at the camera. I'm sorry while you're talking.
Yeah, they're just licking the mics over there. If you guys like our show, go ahead and subscribe on our channel. We have the GamesCast coming out every Wednesday, and we have our show coming out every Friday. We have a skit in the works right now. I'm sure we'll probably touch on that a little later. If you guys want to sponsor us, you head over to our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/WHRGames. There you can, I think it's a couple bucks just to become a patron to our channel and get some exclusive content, hopefully starting soon here. We have probably some bloopers for our skit going up there. We have a unreleased episode that we don't have video for that we're probably going to post up there once we get that fixed up.
Why don't we have video for it?
I don't know. Somebody deleted the video. That's kind of weird.
are we gonna talk about the new 6 Pokemon at all?
Yeah.
Are we interested? Because I'm pretty interested with the new Pokemon.
I'm interested.
I thought some of them were cool. Are those what you showed me?
Yeah, those were the 6 ones that they showed off.
What are those for? They're making it for...
Sun and Moon.
Okay,
It's
is
a
this
new
going to
one.
be a completely new storyline?
Yeah, it's in almost like a Hawaiian.
Okay.
I think
A
Aloha.
tropical one?
Aloha is like the island's called or something like that.
That's original.
It's
Yeah,
supposed
it
to be
kinda
like
comes-
Hawaiian tropics, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of, the art style kind of changed to kind of remind me of like Hawaii kind of thing, like the colors and stuff like that.
I'm excited. It's been a while. I mean, the last one was X and Y,
Mm.
and I thought that was pretty innovative. I don't
Is
know how.
Black and White the one that was sort of Paris-y or France-like? I liked that one a lot because it felt that was the first one I experienced that was more like 3D view.
I thought
of
that
your
one had a
character.
great story too.
Yeah,
it
it
was
did.
very almost, over the top. Other than you're just regular, you're gonna do 8 gyms, then you're gonna
Mhm.
fight the major battle.
Yeah, it definitely added a lot of more kind of. It was innovative. It added a lot more kind of interesting stuff to do.
Well, there was like a real villain to it too.
Yeah.
There was like a real bad guy. There was a real team that you're fighting, not just like Team Rocket that's in the corner that you
Mhm.
might fight every once in a while. So I kind of like that. And then there was another, like, after you beat the game, there was an end game to it where you had to fight the major villain at the end and
Okay.
get the legendary Pokemon. It was good. I liked it. So 6 new Pokemon. Some of them look pretty cool. Some look like they just didn't even try.
Yeah, I honestly feel like they're running out of skins for Pokemon.
Like I don't.
Running out of names.
I
too, and
disagree
everything.
because if they can do that, I'm sure they just need to put more time into like some of the other ones. I think others seem rushed or not thought all the way
there's gonna
through,
be
or
800 something Pokemon now.
800 more or 800
800
total.
800
total.
total.
Okay,
From first gen all the way to whatever gen this is.
that is a lot, but I mean, I think they can do it and make all of them seem original and fit in the universe.
I don't know. I
don't think they are doing it, but I think they could.
they just need to merge with Digimon.
God,
so they can
Digimon.
get- so they can get some extra ideas out of it.
All they have to do is
Merge the
add. What was
universes.
that thing we were watching where they like morphed multiple Pokemon together?
Oh,
they should just have.
We were watching On the Spot.
Pokemon Fusion.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
They should just add in crossbreeding.
Well, they already
to
have
Pokemon.
Mega Evolutions. Is that what they're called?
I think so.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about putting 2 different Pokemons in the daycare. They give you some weird egg that turns out to be.
I know, but it's just weird, like how they
Mate
took.
the Pokemon.
They
together.
literally took the Digimon aspect of Mega Evolution,
Is
and
that
then
from Digimon?
pretty much, and then they can just go back to their regular form after they're done.
Yeah, I didn't really like that. It
Is that
felt
like a temporary evolution then?
Yeah, it's only for a battle. So
but
like,
you could activate it at the beginning of every battle. Does it cost a turn or
No.
anything? Like I didn't get that. Like what's
Can
the
you just
point?
do it whenever, or do you need some special thing?
you just have to
use
have
it?
the stone that they pretty much give you,
I
because
don't-
you can get like Charizard if you. So you, in the X and Y, I know you get like you start with another starter you pick, and so I got Charizard and it gives you that stone, and then once you have that stone, you just press a button and it turns into its Mega Evolution, but it bumps its stats up like 50%, makes it super powerful.
Like there's no reason not to use it. Why didn't they just add another evolution? It doesn't make sense to me. Because you're just gonna be doing it every time. It's just
Yeah,
like- and if
pretty
it's a
much.
stone, like just make it like a sunstone pipe or leaf stone. I don't remember what they're called.
They're just called Mega Stones or
Yeah, I
whatever.
know. Like you could just make them like the other stones that would be used to evolve Eevee or other Pokemon.
I don't know, and then it changes your Pokemon, because you, like, Charizard goes from being flying and fire to flying, fire, and dark, if you have that one.
Oh, really?
I don't know. So, new Pokemon, some look pretty cool, innovative, like the Wimp Out or Wimp Pound, where it has that move called Wimp Out, where it can just escape right away.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have the technology to put images of Pokemon on?
Yeah,
the
I mean, if
screen?
we go through all the names, I can throw the pictures of the Pokemon up there.
We should go through these.
So, we have the one Wimpod we were talking about. It's Bug in Water. That one looks pretty decent. Bonus Sweets. Bonus Wheats?
Bonus Wheats?
Bound Sweet?
Yeah, the one that looks like an
I think
oddish
it's Bound
almost.
Sweet.
kind of.
Yeah, it looks like something that's already been
Bound
made, but
Sweet.
it looks. That's why I think it fits.
It says it's a fruit Pokemon. Like I said, so they're probably eating these fucking things.
Yeah, and then we got Comfy.
How do they have a?
Is it comfy or comfy?
I'm pretty sure it's Comfy. Comfy would kind of make it sound retarded. I think.
Well, it's already a dumb Pokemon. It's a lay.
It looks like a
It's
looks like a
literally
lay or
lay.
like a wristband or something.
And it's holding its tail.
I'm curious about like the actual dimensions and weights of these Pokemon. Like,
And then Mudsdale.
Yep, ground type mud Pokemon.
I
like
think
what
you-
if this was life sized right there? What kind of why would you use that in a battle?
I don't know. I only like Nine's Tails, but that's not really a horse, but Ponyta. And then the Pedo Bear.
Pedo Bear.
Called Beware.
Yeah,
That's
called
so
Beware. Yep.
obvious. If they call it Beware, make it look exactly like the
It's
pedo-
literally the pedophile bear. Like, were they not thinking when they drew this? They probably saw it on Facebook and like, oh, that'd look like a good Pokemon.
You should just turn memes into Pokemon.
And then my favorite, which is the last one, is the Mimikyu.
The tube sock Pikachu.
Yeah, Tube Stop Pikachu.
I hope that would be interesting if they have a if they actually, that would be so much work. But if they have like a version of that to change into different,
I'm gonna say no, based
I would
on the
believe
video
no
they showed.
too.
They showed the video of it, and it's pretty much the
Oh,
same.
does it not have like an ability to transfer? It's always looks like that.
I think so.
I think so.
that's what it was.
Well, it says it. Then its appearances changes when it mimics enemy attacks. So maybe it does.
I mean, maybe like there are certain, maybe it has like a set different ones it can do. Like if it's using electric attacks, it can be, I don't know, Pikachu looking, peek at you.
But if it
Pikachu.
just so if it literally does what Ditto does, then what's the point?
I don't know.
Because that's what unless
Ditto
it just,
2.0.
unless it's always going to be like Ghost and Fairy, even though it's taken the enemy attacks.
So in all these new, I haven't played Pokemon in forever. So in all these new Pokemon games, does it include all the Pokemon all the way from Gen 1?
No, they don't do that anymore. Oh, Pokemon or
Yeah.
like the gym battles?
All the Pokemon.
All the Pokemon, yes.
So you can get
So
every single one from
every
Gen 1 all the
generation.
way up to the new ones.
And you can trade around the world.
Okay.
That's actually pretty large of a game. Because I was impressed when Soul Silver fit in as many generations as they did, but you did have like double the amount of gyms to go through.
Yeah, you can go through both the Kanto and the, what was the silver one?
Johto?
Johto?
Yeah, Johto.
So you can go through both of those and do both of their, what was it?
So in this game,
Final
do you
Four.
actually go back and do?
No.
Okay.
No. They're not going to do that.
I like that.
There's a bigger story to it, probably like X and Y, I'm guessing,
Okay.
where you actually have friends and then you learn new things.
I'm good with kind of a different story because all through, like up through Ruby, it felt like they were kind of just sort of sticking with their kind of
Well,
template.
Really, it wasn't. They didn't really change until like Black and White. Black and
Okay.
White is when they really got into
Or I
doing
guess
story aspects.
I count Platinum. I never really played those Platinum, Diamond, Pearl. I don't think I played any of those.
I played them. I have them. I think I have Diamond, and it's pretty much just another clone of like Ruby and Sapphire.
Okay.
There's some story to it, but until they got into like Black and White 2, and then X and Y, they really weren't hitting story aspect at all.
Mm-hmm.
But now you actually have a story, you have a character you kind of care about. Instead of rivals, you have friends that you're trying to.
Oh yeah, I remember that too. In like X and Y, you had the two friends.
Yeah.
That was a lot different, but I think it worked out. It was. I don't want to say it worked out better, but I think it worked out well.
But they picked the ones that you're weaker against, which I found was funny. So
Yeah.
like if you pick fire type, they'll pick grass, instead of the other way around where. And red and blue, if you picked fire, they'd pick water and just
Mhm.
destroy
Yes, yeah.
you right away. I don't know. That's all I have for Pokemon.
I think that was pretty much it. There was just a couple other. There was like, I think they mentioned hyper training or something like that, where you can train certain stats like speed or defense or something like that.
They had that
a
in
little
X
bit
and
more.
Y.
But I mean, it was just the new Pokemon. I think that was the big point to touch on.
I'm sure they're going to be doing this until it drops in August.
Does it drop in August? Seems like a lot of good games are dropping in August.
Yeah, so You want to go through the ones we're getting? We're getting Batman's Tall Tale,
Okay.
which looks okay. I only say it looks okay because the trailer didn't show any villains. It just showed Victor Vanconi as being like the main bad guy.
It did show
And Catwoman.
Harvey Dent was in there, but he was messed up. He was lawyer version Harvey Dent.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, there's that, and then there's No Man's Sky coming out on the 9th.
So yeah, that comes out the week after.
Yep. Pokemon comes out. World of Warcraft Legion comes out on the 29th or the 30th?
30th of August.
30th of August, okay. And then...
So, no, meaning 29th, where you're going to get popcorn while you're waiting for the release.
Yeah, the morning of the 30th at 2 a.m., but then you decide to go get popcorn at 1:50.
Mm-hmm. They're going to release it early, just for you, while you're getting popcorn.
And then Madden.
For those of you that don't know, that was the story with World of Warcraft, Warlords of Draenor. John and I were roommates sophomore year of college. We were waiting for it to launch, and it usually launches at about 2. We're waiting there. It's about 1:45, 1:40ish. John decides to go down and get some popcorn out of the vending machine in the basement, and then it launches like 15 minutes early. So he was like 5-10 minutes behind because he couldn't log in right away.
Still past everyone.
Yeah, but that was
But you
those good
said-
times.
So
What'd you say? Sorry.
Yeah,
Tom
I mean,
Clancy, The Division Underground's dropping. So the new expansion. No Man's Sky is coming out.
Oh, Madden. You said Madden's coming out too. Who's on the cover? Not that I really care, but
Some white guy.
so I take it it's a quarterback.
I think it's I think
Or
it's
a
I think it's either Tom Brady or Gronkowski. I know it's a Patriot player.
Okay.
Deus Ex coming out.
That was
That's
very
Mankind Divided.
Yeah, they showed
Inaccurate.
a trailer for that and a little gameplay. I don't really care.
That one looks okay. It had a cool storyline behind it.
Did you play the other one that came out like 5 years ago?
Mm-mm.
I played it. It was cool until you found out that you can stealth through the whole thing, and then when you get to your boss battle, you have to kill him. You can't.
Really?
You can't take him out stealth style, which defeated the whole point of. I could just went in there guns blazing. It's kind of crappy. Hitman episode 6, episode 5 drops this month.
Yeah, those are those mini games that are coming out, really, right?
Well,
the mini
there's
versions that are like $20 each or something like that.
it's just coming out episodically instead of a full game, which I would be pretty upset about because you're ending up paying $60 anyways.
For which game?
The Hitman.
Oh. Wasn't there new content coming for Battlefront?
Death Star's dropping, and then they just announced Rogue One DLC, which I'm super pumped for.
Wasn't there
Already? Aren't they going to do the movie first?
Well, Rogue One's dropping this year, so they're dropping in December, so I'm guessing they'll drop it during that time.
I suppose the last Star Wars did come out in like December-ish, didn't it?
Well,
December, January.
Yeah, we're getting
It
Star
came
Wars
out
like
Christmas,
every year.
didn't it?
Did it come out on Christmas?
No, December
That was-
18th.
Oh.
Yeah, it was before because I went on. Yeah, I was gone for Christmas.
So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Nothing else really noteworthy.
Not until September, and then we get the BioShock collection.
That's going to
September
be fun.
13th. And then I might as well talk about this now. Just announced that Tomb Raider Rise of the Tomb Raider. I think that's the name. Tomb Raider Rise of the Tomb Raider.
What the fuck?
Which came out for Xbox One last year, is finally coming to
PS4.
PlayStation 4. Gets all the DLC plus a couple new modes. They have a survival mode. So have you ever played that game called Don't Starve?
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically doing it like that co-op survival where you have to get food, you have to stay warm, and you have waves of enemies that come by.
Oh, really? That's kind of cool.
That's dropping, and then you're getting a PlayStation VR exclusive mode. So it's supposed to be like a small storytelling. And then on top of that, you're getting a horde zombie mode, which I think would be pretty cool.
I suppose it's kind of cool.
It was kind of a pain in the ass that we had to wait a year for PS4, but I mean, if they're going to give me all the DLC for it for free because they're a bunch of jackasses, I'm okay with that.
All right, well, that's most of the games coming out next month. I guess, John, do you want to talk about Legion? I know pre-patch just came out today, launched this morning-ish.
I mean, actually, I don't really have too much to say. It's out. There's a lot of new features, but not really new content. Upgrades to the interface are probably the most exciting. There's quality of life improvements and a lot of changes to pretty much every class. Every class is working pretty differently.
Yeah, they cut
from
out a bunch
from
of
what I can
abilities, right?
tell. Yeah, they cut and changed a lot of stuff.
Which in a way it makes it
I'll
easier.
be playing
but
it a lot. That's what I'll be playing.
So this isn't the full game, right? Are they just
No,
releasing
it's,
stuff as they go?
Not really as they go. They've changed every single. They've made a lot of changes and they're releasing it or doing a pre-patch to sort of prepare for the expansion.
So is this a scheduled pre-patch, or is this they just released it?
They just released it today, but it was scheduled.
Okay.
But like probably a week in advance they announced it.
Okay.
And but yeah, from what my understanding is, it's so people can get used to the changes before they go into the actual new content.
yeah, so they're not learning new content and new abilities at the same time, or like how to play their class again.
But if you're in pre-beta like you are, is it pre-beta? Is that what it is?
It's just beta.
It's
Okay, if you're in beta, pretty much all of it doesn't matter when the real game releases, right? Because you can't save it.
No, it's for testing.
Okay.
So
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, all your progress gets deleted when you do beta when it launches. I believe it goes till launch, right? Beta's open. Or is it like a week before?
This is the first beta I've been in.
Do you get anything cool?
Not really. You get to experience it before.
Okay, I didn't know if they give you like a special item for finishing.
No, that people would be upset if they did.
I mean, technically you could.
That people are pretty upset that people are getting this access and not them. They feel more entitled to it.
It's kind of funny because a lot of people that actually sub to WoW every month and have for a long time, they're usually the ones that are really salty about not getting beta keys, because people like me get beta keys where I haven't been subbed for months, and I just started playing in towards the end of Pandaria.
So, but who? Well, there has to be a reason, right? I mean,
it's just luck of the draw, I think.
Oh, it's luck of the draw.
It's random.
I figured.
I mean, they do have target certain people, but like people for probably more advertisement sake.
See, I figured they target people who aren't really into playing right now, who want it, just so that you can get them hooked on it again, and then they're the ones who are actually going to play it. Unlike if you're a regular sub, are you really going to want to play something that's not going to count later?
Yes and no. There's a lot of people that try to compete for getting to the max level the fastest.
I mean, yeah, there are.
Okay. So obviously if you're in beta, you're going to be able to know where to go, what to do. That's going to boost your XP a lot quicker and stuff like that.
I mean, that's really the biggest thing I could think of that people are really going to be competing for. Otherwise, I mean, you get an earlier look at raids and dungeons if you're going to compete for a world first, server first, and that too. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, that's why haven't really been doing much in beta. I haven't really touched. I've just been looking at new features because I don't want to invest too much into it and then have it all just wiped away.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Next thing we could talk about is there was an Overwatch update today that released the new character Anna. For those of you that don't know, she's the new support champ. She's a support sniper that you can shoot your teammates, it heals them. You can shoot enemies, it does a dot damage on them.
She does dot damage?
Yep.
Oh,
Doesn't do complete damage to her right away.
Did not know that.
saw your tweet that you put out.
Yeah, just gonna throw this out there for those of you watching that play Overwatch. You don't have to play Anna every game. There are some game modes and maps that she just doesn't work on. So
We know she's new and exciting. I haven't actually been playing in the last week, but
I mean that's kind of a common theme with a lot of new stuff. Everybody's going to be kind of overplaying it for a while, but it gets frustrating when you're trying to actually play competitive or something like that. And
has there
everybody's
been
just like, "Ooh,
competitive
Anna."
modes where there's been 3 Annas?
Pretty much.
Wow.
I had one where there was 3 Annas and 2 Divas, and I was kind of like, all right, well, this isn't going to work.
Aren't they both snipers?
Diva's a tank.
Oh,
She's the one with the big mech suit that can fly in.
Gotcha.
I mean, she's really good with Anna's ult, but then there was a couple balance updates to a couple champions. I'm just gonna kind of go through them really quick. Bastion's tank ability or his ultimate was the cost is increased by 10%, which is probably a good thing because I still feel like he gets a little bit too quick. And Bastion's just kind of a dumb champion in the first place.
Sorry, say what happened to him again?
His tank ultimate.
It's damage reduced?
No, the cost of it was increased by 10%.
Oh, so it takes 10%
takes 10%
longer?
to get it, yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean, it's not like it's too quick, but
yeah, I mean, it's just kind of one of those champs where you can sit there and if
I mean,
you're in the right
his
spot,
ult's not too
farm.
quick, but I feel like he's not one that really uses it too much. So he can be sitting on his ult for a long time. He doesn't really use it until he's probably in a trouble spot, or there's just he can just doesn't have to use it until he feels like he should.
Yeah. Then going down the list, we have Lucio's. His ultimate was also increased by 10%. The cost for it. McCree's Peacekeeper. So they nerfed McCree before with his fan the hammer attack, but then they changed it now so he maintains full damage at long distances. But this doesn't exactly make any sense. He maintains full damage at long distances, but will deal less damage at extreme ranges. So I don't know where they have that fine line of.
Are they actually reducing damage or are they reducing accuracy?
Reducing damage. I think McCree is one of those ones where he's not necessarily a sniper, but if you're
No,
a
but
good
he
enough
could
shot,
he could be accurate with his just regular thing. But so they're saying there's a certain distance where it's going to do less damage.
Yeah, I don't know where they define the, long range, extreme range kind of thing.
I can see them doing this like a Destiny thing.
What do you mean?
That Destiny had the powerful hand cannons for a while, where you could take someone out from halfway across the map if you're good enough. So I'm guessing they're gonna go for that route where it might just take 2 rounds to take someone out, not just one with a headshot.
Yeah, I mean it's not really hard, but it's fairly difficult to get a headshot with McCree, which I suppose it becomes more skill based. So if you're really good at aiming with PC or console, whatever you're on, McCree is probably the champ for you. But I mean, so Roadhog, his ultimate cost was increased by 45%, which I feel like is pretty big. But
it's pretty big, but I would have expected it. I would expect it to be bigger than the other ones that they increase. He gets his really fast.
Yeah, and his kind of has the double effect where it does a lot of damage and then it knocks everybody back.
Yeah, I would say it is also a valuable one to have. So I could see it being more costly.
Yeah, especially with Anna's ult ability, where then you have a Roadhog coming at you really fast with his ult, doing a crap ton of damage and shoving you back even farther.
Mm-hmm.
So, Soldier 76 looks like his gun, the spread recovery, will begin after a short delay, which I don't.
So this for Soldier?
Yeah, so his spread recovery will begin after a short delay. I don't know exactly
spread
what that
recovery.
Means,
his medic pack that he throws down.
No, on his heavy pulse rifle. So I'd assume it means
spread recovery.
So maybe when you're shooting, and then
so the cooldown's reduced.
No, I think it's like a burst where if you shoot, because right when you shoot with Soldier, it's pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
But then as you shoot longer, it kind of becomes less accurate, where it spreads around a little bit more.
It's almost like a weird version of recoil.
Kind of, yeah. I think that's what that means is it doesn't, right when you stop shooting and then you shoot again, it's not going to go straight back to really accurate again. It's going to have a little bit of a delay.
That's strange.
But I mean, I don't know. And then his ultimate cost is also increased by 10%. Looks like they're increasing a lot of ultimates here. Going down to Diva. Diva is probably the one that they changed the most. Her E, so that was her defense matrix shield that could basically block incoming damage. They changed it from an actual ability to the right click on PC. It's kind of like Reinhardt's shield now, where you can hold it up for as long as you want, and then it takes down a little bit like an energy bar as you use it or it gets shot.
It has a health bar?
Yep.
So you could hold it up indefinitely if it doesn't get shot?
No, that's the only
So
difference.
it has a cooldown?
Yeah. So
okay. Because I was going to say that I don't like that if they start borrowing ideas from other things, because they had such a diverse span of characters.
So her at full charge, it says it will last for 4 seconds. Just a side note, anybody that wants to read this, I will post this in the description below on the video.
Oh, so it's pretty much the same thing, but it actually can be like broken.
Yeah.
All right. So it's not just like an indestructible shield you can have up indefinitely and charge in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, not indefinitely. You could have up until it for
until it goes down. Let's see here. So it takes 10 seconds for it to fully recharge from empty, and then 4 seconds at full charge to deplete. Her self-destruct ultimate was decreased by 15%, so the cost of that. The explosion delay on the ult was changed from 4 seconds to 3 seconds, so it goes off faster now. And then thing I like the most is her explosion no longer damages Diva.
So she
can
can't kill
stand
herself?
right on top of it. Yep, she can't kill herself with it anymore.
She's sounding on the verge of too strong. She's sounding really strong.
Yeah, they kind of went from lowest tank all the way up to probably one of the better tanks. Continuing on, it looks like we have Mercy. So you can no longer stack the damage boost with Mercy. If you have 2 Mercies on one soldier or something, you can't stack the damage boost on the soldier. Her ult cost was increased by 30%. Her movement is no longer prevented during activation, so you can move and use your ult at the same time. And then your Guardian Angel instantly resets upon use, so there's not a cooldown
Mercy
anymore.
A lot more now.
Mercy sounds like a lot
Being
of fun.
able to move and cast ult is so good. That would be so good.
Yeah, she usually died pretty quickly right
whenever you use it, you die.
Yeah. And then the last one here was Zenyatta. His shields were increased by 50, so now his health is 50. His shield is 150, so he's a base full health of 200. His primary weapon was damage was decreased. Alternate fire weapon was increased. His projectile speed has increased.
You aren't reading off just all the patch notes, are we?
No. Well, I'm
Right.
not reading specifically from the patch notes, but yeah.
So yes, he's reading off the patch notes.
Not word for word. But no, I'm not reading from the patch notes. I'm reading from a website.
That took it from the patch notes, right?
Yeah.
So isn't that the patch notes? Like if I went to Blizzard's website, I'd probably get the same information.
We're abridging
Well, yeah.
the patch notes.
Gotcha.
No, that's why I'm paraphrasing. I'm not going through everything. And then there's a bunch of other maps, UI, and stuff that I'm not going to go into. Because nobody cares about that.
I like UI.
Like UI. Alright, so that's it for Overwatch news.
Topic of the show. How long do you think Overwatch, because it's just a strictly online game, is going to last?
Long time.
Because I've heard the most interesting conversation today. All the online games that have started in the past 2 years have only made it 3 months before they fail. Battleborn, Battlefront, what was the other one? Battlefield, the one where you play the police officer, cops and robbers. Frontline. What was the other online one? Titanfall.
All those games sucked.
Evolve.
Sucked.
So long as they keep on putting content into it, or they need to think of
Because
ways to keep adding content.
all those games, except for maybe Battleborn, are now getting campaign modes to get people to actually.
Well,
stay
Battleborn
on.
already had a campaign mode.
I would like to see a
Was it
Overwatch
campaign? I thought it was.
Well, it was a single player. It wasn't necessarily like maps like the online ones. It was an actual, basically,
You-
a campaign, yeah.
They
You
had
were
a story.
Yeah.
You were talking about this a lot, and I think it would be really cool if Overwatch had a campaign mode,
Well,
like just a story.
they
for it.
have great animations, right?
They-
And the stories they tell through the animations, even being short, are really good. Why isn't there like short story campaign missions? Because how many characters are there?
24, I think now. 24.
So
I
you
don't
give
know.
me like 45-minute levels to play and get that animation at the end.
I mean, I totally agree there. I know all those shorts that they released before Overwatch came out. I thought those were really awesome.
And I
that they can
think
actually make
I
that
think
into a
they are
movie or
wasting
something.
a lot of their story development if they don't use it for something like a campaign.
I feel
it's-
like there's something coming. I feel like there's like a short movie or something by Blizzard coming with that.
But there's no campaign. There's nothing that makes me want to go out and say, "Hey, I want to play this."
How
But Blizzard's one of those companies where they can, if they put enough time and effort into a game, they're gonna keep that time and effort into it. Because this was the reboot of a failed project that they had, so
I
they put a
know.
lot of work into this, and they're not just gonna be like, I'm not, it's not doing very well. We're just gonna quit. I think they're gonna try changing angles if it starts going downhill.
I just want to know how long the train's going to last.
I think it will last longer than 3 months.
Do you think it'll last a year before people stop playing it?
I do,
I think it'll last a little bit longer than a couple years.
especially with
All right.
especially being competitive. A lot of people, I think, can stick with competitive if they have
But not
something
everyone
where
likes to
they
play
feel that
competitive.
they could grow on or improve and then get better and feel like there's still room to move on in the game until they reach a point where they feel like they can't do it or they give up. So I think they would have to make it as good as they can for competitive. I also think new content is necessary for holding an audience.
And going back to the part where their canceled game, I think that they wouldn't put a game through that they were completely confident in that could last for a long time and actually release it. I think where they were looking at the game from before, obviously we don't know, what it was going to be or anything like that. But when Blizzard seems like a company that when they put out a game, they're in it for the long haul. They're not just going to throw it out and be like, oh, we'll see how this is going to work, and then kind of let it die off slowly. Like, look at World of Warcraft. That's been slowly dying off for a long time. Not completely, because there's still a lot of people that play it, but if you look at the sub count now compared to when was the highest, was probably during
Stirring Wrath.
was it Wrath? I mean, if you look at it like that, they've lost over half their subs, but they're still going with it. They still think that they can push it through and get it.
I mean, I think they're still going with it because they make a profit. I think that's the only reason
That's
it's
true.
not killed yet.
But I mean, that's just
still
my
have fun,
opinion. I
but-
think Overwatch is going to last for a while.
I think I don't think it'll hold the hype for very long. I think it will cut a good, if I had to put a number at the maximum, 30%.
I just can't see it holding water for as long as they wanted to. Seeing that everything is...
I don't think it will be as long of a investment if they keep on with this plan of it being a solely multiplayer game, a solely multiplayer few game mode. Continue doing this. I don't think it will last as long term as like a 10-year, 11-year game like WoW.
I mean, I can see Blizzard being the exception to this rule but looking at all the other strictly online games that are just failing miserably, and now they are extremely into the fact that, hey, we know we screwed up before by giving you an online game because we thought that's what people wanted, and it's not. And now we're going to give you a full single-player campaign and a great multiplayer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought the whole Titanfall idea was cool, even though I never got to play it because it was strictly an Xbox One game. The idea of it was cool, but the fact that they basically said, oh, you'll get your campaign by playing through the multiplayer. That's where you get your cutscenes. That's where you get your story from. And seeing that you'll just have like the same cutscenes over and over again, I mean, that can get kind of repetitive and boring. I want my campaign and my multiplayer to be separate identities.
Did people actually think that's what people wanted, was just a multiplayer game?
Well,
because that's not what I expect. I expect like a full game.
so between like
For a full
2000,
price, full game. Yeah.
2008 to like 2000, let's say 14. Remember, if a game launched and it didn't have multiplayer, then it wasn't worth playing.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing for a long time. That's why BioShock 2 got multiplayer. That's why a lot of these crappy games.
Assassin's Creed.
Yep, Assassin's Creed got multiplayer. All these good campaign games got crappy multiplayer throw-ins because they thought that,
That's what people wanted.
that's what people said they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out that people don't want that crap. You know, they just want a better storytelling game because we found out that, hey, because you wanted it, we're just going to throw some crap in it together and give it to you. It's not what people want. They finally know what they want, you know? They could finally say, like, hey, you know, we were wrong. We actually didn't want all multiplayer. We wanted a campaign. We wanted a story. We wanted to have an emotional experience, not some dead, lifeless game that's just multiplayer.
Yeah, I never really understood why they did BioShock 2 multiplayer.
Because that's what people wanted.
Back on Overwatch, though, I think Blizzard is kind of aiming towards sort of games that have already succeeded and trying to, I don't want to say ride on their success, but pretty much like Heroes of the Storm is pretty much trying to dip into the League of Legends MOBA genre because that's being so successful. This is pretty much taking a stab at Team Fortress 2. Not that...
I mean, there's a lot of differences, but yeah, they're basically, in a nutshell, they can be compared together.
Oh, the only reason I think that Overwatch will succeed is because the PC community will keep it going, but I think it's gonna probably die out on consoles within the next couple months.
Console, yeah, I could see it dying out.
I could see it dying on console.
I could see it
honestly.
dying extremely soon, to the point where I don't know how they would fix it besides putting it out for free to play on consoles.
But then,
which they'll never
you're
do.
gonna piss off a lot of PC players, I think, by doing that.
Well,
too.
I could see Overwatch going free to play in the next year or two, doing a Team Fortress thing, and just throwing out microtransactions. Because that game's still going.
Yeah.
And it's free to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as big, obviously, as it used to be, but yeah, there's still a decent amount of people that play it.
Anything you guys finished?
Nah, I've been basically still trucking along with Fallout 4. Just finished up Far Harbor.
Oh, nice.
The Vault Tech expansion comes on the 24th of July, I believe. The one where you can create your own vault, be an overseer. But, I mean, that's not anything huge. That's just kind of one of their little tiny DLCs that they're doing.
Did you see that they're getting a lot of backlash saying that their DLC is not up to par as Fallout 3's?
I don't know why everybody tries comparing it to Fallout 3. What about Fallout New Vegas? That was, I mean, it was a different developer.
That was
but
different developer. Was there DLC for Fallout New Vegas? Mm-hmm. There was?
Yeah, there was 4, I believe. There was... Nah, I forgot what they're called, but I remember playing through those ones. I like the New Vegas DLC. I like those a lot.
Do you think that Fallout 4 is up to par with Fallout 3's Because it seemed like Fallout 3 had some really good DLC packs.
Fallout 3 had really good ones, yeah. Far Harbor, not really. Everything seemed too spread out, I felt like, where Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas kind of had the... It was more of a linear kind of thing. It wasn't really like an open map.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, Far Harbor was nice. It was kind of cool, but it wasn't amazing.
Because if you break it down, you're really only getting Automatron, Far Harbor, and Nuka-Cola are your 3 big expansions.
Automatron you could have finished in 2 hours easily.
Okay.
Far Harbor, if you just did the main campaign, you probably could have finished that in probably 3-4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But there was separate endings to Far Harbor that you could have did. And then the next one's Nuka World.
You think they're justifying the extra $20 for the season pass?
I think they're trying to do that because of VR, to be honest.
Trying to raise funds?
I think so.
Could be. But
That's
do
in my
you get
opinion.
the VR experience with the season pass?
I hope so.
Well, I hope so too. Anything you're finishing up playing?
Not really. Got a little bit further in my new Skyrim save. I finished the Thieves Guild. Always
Nice.
do Thieves Guild first.
Got to get that master key.
Thief class for life. I return the master key.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You get that buff? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the skeleton key.
Going invisible once a day.
That's
pretty
true.
good. But I guess, lockpicking's not that hard after you get past a certain level.
That's true.
I have too many lockpicks I don't know what to do with. But nothing I'm finishing. Nothing new.
I finished Fury. That was the indie game
Oh, gotcha.
released for free if you have PlayStation Plus this month. So just checking it out. That game was fucking hard.
Was it?
All boss battles. The whole thing is boss battles. 10 boss battles in the whole game. And basically how you do it is you do it in waves. So it would be like a top-down shooter. And then when you get him down to like his lower energy, then you'd hit him and then you go to like a real close-in view. And everything is just like counter. You get a counter, use a gun, use your sword, dodge. So hard.
Was it fun at least? Like fun hard or just like frustrating hard?
It was the first 3 were fun, but after that they're just ridiculously hard. I mean, I had to literally lower it down to easy, but there's no medium. Easy was you only had 2 rounds with the boss. The medium setting is 6 rounds. I don't even want to know what hard was because
Probably
it's probably
12
like
rounds.
10 or 20. I went to easy after that because I just got too frustrated in playing, and I really just wanted to see how the story was going, because it was like almost like a Samurai Jack ripoff.
Okay.
Because your character doesn't really speak. He's got a samurai sword and a gun, and then you have like this thing, and that's in like a rabbit's mask. This guy that's in a rabbit's mask that's like following you around, telling you what you should do, and telling you through the whole story.
Rabbit's masks are creepy. See Donnie Darko?
That's what it kind of reminded me of a little bit.
Did it? The first time I saw that guy standing in the golf course, I was just like, the.
Oh, was it Frank?
Fuck this.
Yeah, Frank. I think that's what his name was. Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, retro 80s look, super neon, everything. The game's fun. It's just extremely hard, especially the last part. The last part is like super hard because then they started putting in. You had to do like platforming, dodging platforms, where you just had to like zip forward. So that was cool, and then I didn't realize how long Doom was. That's like a 16 hours first-person shooter. Ridiculously hard. Well, it's not hard, but it's just like... I haven't played a first-person shooter that had a campaign that was 16 hours long, and I don't even know. Maybe... What was it? Far Cry? First-person shooters? Yeah, Far Cry. It was like the last time I played a first-person shooter that long. And that was at least open world. This is all linear.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I wrote a review for it, how I thought.
Sounds interesting, at least.
It's fun. 16 hours is a long time, especially for only paid $30 for it. So it was worth the money right there.
Did you get any gameplay footage of it?
Yeah. I didn't do anything like that. I still have 4 hours left.
Okay.
So
Well, how are you going to start doing your reviews then? Are you just going to type them up, or are you just going to want to
I just typed
record
them
'em?
up. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet.
Okay.
I don't know where to publish them because we don't have anything that publishes anything that long.
What do you mean?
Are we ending the GamesCast here?
I suppose we could. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. If you make sure you like and subscribe to the video if you want to see some more stuff. We have a show we already had recorded that should be coming on Friday. It's another good one, I think, is the show. For those of you that are on Twitter or Facebook, check us out. We are on Twitter, WHR_games, and then Facebook, we have a page that is just WHR Games. So make sure you go on there, drop a like, follow. Anything else you guys want to say before we head out?
No. See ya.
No?
No, enjoy yourself.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
Treat yourself.
Yeah. Treat yourself.